In this video you are gonna learn what different types of artificial intelligence there are and what a superintelligence is. It's very hard to define artificial intelligence because the definition of intelligence itself is so difficult. What does intelligence mean? Who is intelligent? What is intelligent behavior? Are animals intelligent? Are humans intelligent? So it's already difficult to define artificial intelligence because the definition of intelligence is already a difficult task. But nevertheless, artificial intelligence is part of IT, of information technology. And it's a part of information technology where you try to imitate human intelligence, where you try to get the machine to work like a human concerning intelligent behavior. One important concept here is the concept of machine learning. To understand what machine learning is, you have to understand the difference between machine learning and traditional programming. What is traditional programming? Normally, when you program a computer, you tell him exactly what steps to do. You say, step 1 now, step 2 now, step 3 now. So actually, programming is a rather simple task. So you're telling exactly the computer, do those steps, and if this happens, then do this. So this is traditional programming in a nutshell. Concerning machine learning, this is a little bit different. Because of course you're also programming the computer to do machine learning. But then you give the computer a big set of data and the computer tries to learn from this data set. So it's much more learning from experience. You're already imitating the human behavior of learning from a big set of data. So machine learning is already something different than traditional programming. For example, machine learning is much more important when it comes to pattern recognition. What the computer has become really good at is recognizing patterns from big data. And this is already something different because there is some sort of intuition coming into it. Traditional programming was not very good at stuff that was not iterative. That means which you could not put into steps. When it comes to intuitive behavior, then you need something different, and then there's the point where you may be using machine learning. So what different types of artificial intelligence are there? You can distinguish between 3 different types: weak AI, strong AI, and superintelligence. What's that? Weak AI, or also called narrow AI, is a form of artificial intelligence which is used only in specific cases. So it was developed for those special cases. For example, when you think about a screwdriver is made for only driving screws. So a weak AI is something similar. You can only use it for this specific case. Think of self-driving cars, think of Siri or OK Google. Those are forms of AI which were developed only for specific use cases. In contrast to weak AI, there is the strong AI. The strong AI can also be called artificial general intelligence, AGI. And this is something which doesn't exist yet. The strong AI, the idea of strong AI is that you really can use this AI on any problem. So you can not only use it on one specific task, but you take one program and this program can be used for any problem. So it's really an imitation of the human intelligence. We can also solve different problems with our intelligence. We humans can do many different tasks with our brain. We can do crossword puzzles, we can understand languages, we can know what is being seen on pictures, we can develop very high sophisticated things. So human intelligence can be used in many different ways. So a strong AI is rather a multifunctional tool, a tool that you can use for many use cases. So until now, most of the artificial intelligence systems that have been developed are weak AIs. But we are now at the moment in time where there is this transition, where we find more and more artificial intelligence systems that are being developed for also many problems at the same time. So there's this transition from weak AI to strong AI. One big example here is GPT-3. What is GPT-3? GPT-3 is a natural language processing model. This means that GPT-3 is actually a language model. So it's a system of how machines could understand and imitate natural human language. What has been done with GPT-3 is it has been trained on the internet. So you basically let the machine read big parts of the internet. So what the computer is really good at, it is good at remembering things and finding patterns afterwards. So if you let it read the whole internet, if it can remember every sentence that is on the internet and recognize patterns in the language afterwards, you get GPT-3. So what it does, it works with probabilities. Imagine you're typing something into Google. You have this autofill function. So you type in a sentence and the computer knows from probability what's written very often. GPT-3 basically does the same. So GPT-3 is autofill on steroids. And this is where the power of AI comes in. Because the computer is really good in scanning huge parts of texts. It is really good in saving this information. It is really good in structuring this information. It is really good in recognizing patterns. And it works with probabilities. So if you have a lot of times on the internet ABC and you type in AB, then the probability is high, then there follows a C. And the interesting thing is that GPT-3 is really good now in understanding texts and in producing texts. And the interesting thing here is that everything is text, everything can be translated into words. When you think about the English language, it can be transferred into German language, for example. When you think of programming language, every programming language can be transferred into English. When you think of code, every code can be transferred. When you think of pictures, pictures are nothing else than coded information. And this coded information can be transferred into German or English language again. So there is this interoperability. All languages can be translated. So if you understand German, you basically could understand English, you basically could understand programming. And if you have a picture, if you understand the code behind it, you can basically also understand what the picture shows. And if you understand pictures, you also understand video. Because video is nothing else than moving pictures. You can understand sound, because sound can be coded, can be put into patterns. When you understand language, you basically understand our world. So interesting things are happening here at the moment. For example, they let GPT-3 post on Reddit for a week and nobody noticed it. People really thought there was a human being interacting. So we are on this step where artificial intelligence can pass the Turing test, where you're not able anymore to distinguish, is it a machine writing the text or is it a human being writing the text? And you can use GPT-3 for so many things. You can look up all those things on the internet, all those use cases GPT-3 can be used for. So we're really at the step from developing strong AIs. And development doesn't stop. So there is GPT-3, but what about GPT-4? What is it gonna be capable of? So the future is really interesting. So think about this. A machine that understands any language, that can transform any language into any other language, that can recognize patterns, that can see pictures, that can understand voice, that has all the knowledge which is on the internet, and that can produce predictions about the future much better than a human being. Think about this for a second. We are really one step away of developing a strong AI. This is where things become a little bit scary maybe. Because what's next? Next would be the step of a superintelligence. What is this? A superintelligence is an intelligence that is smarter than any human being. If the machines are becoming more intelligent than the human being, then all those huge scenarios become maybe reality. If a superintelligence comes up, we don't know what's gonna happen. It could also be that the machine does not destroy us. It could also be that there is some sort of coexistence between humans and the machines. There is already a video on this channel about the topic of if artificial intelligence is going to destroy us. So feel free to watch this video, but that's a different topic. There are three types of artificial intelligence: weak AI, strong AI, and superintelligence. We are at the moment in between weak AIs and strong AIs. With GPT-3, there is this first step being taken towards a strong AI, and a lot of use cases are going to be coming up in the near future here. But this is only one step. The development does not stop here. This is the most important thing, I think. So, what do you think? How is this going to affect us? Are we gonna see the emerge of a superintelligence? Let us know in the comments what you think about this topic. So don't forget to like, to share and to subscribe. We'll see you in the next video.